Australia cannot afford to be complacent in the current global circumstances in any issues relating to the workplace, industrial relations and reform. There has been a shock to the world, the like of which none of us have seen in our lifetime. With over 250 million jobs lost around the world during COVID, the impact is 4 times worse than what it was in the 2008 global financial crisis. It's put the world at a point of a tipping point. We either break down or we break through, but the choice is ours. There's many challenges on the horizon. Many of these challenges the ILO identified back as part of its centenary work around the future of work, but these have just got worse over the last 2 years. We've seen women in particular hurt incredibly hard through this, both in terms of their unemployment rate, which is now much greater than men, but also the extra burden that women have had to bear because of homeschooling, home care. We've seen young people so seriously impacted. The problems that we had for youth before the crisis are only worse because now their education, their training has been disrupted. We've seen some of the most vulnerable in society, the people with disabilities, migrants, people in the informal economy. They are just facing a shocking future. The opportunities for building a better normal, I think, are enormous, provided we take those opportunities. We can build back in a way that is more inclusive. We can build back in a way that is fairer. We can build back in a way that creates the jobs of the future and provides for the future. The future of work is not going to be the same as work in the past. We need to work collectively now to identify what those opportunities are. How do we make the most out of technology but also provide the necessary protections around it? How do we make the most out of the transitions to climate neutral industry and work in the future? How do we ensure that the jobs are there, not just as jobs, but as decent work, as jobs that are highly skilled, that we have the skill development for people to provide careers and lifelong learning for them? We need to also ensure Building Back Better provides the necessary social protection for people in work, people out of work, for healthcare, for support, lifelong support. We need global action around social protection. It is only when we get equity in our society that we are going to get the full value out of society. We've got to address not just the future of work issues, but the future of work in the post-COVID environment. We've recently collaborated with UN Women and with UNICEF on a project of providing advice to employers about how they can make more family-friendly workplaces. And this of course includes such things as flexible work arrangements. It includes support for good, safe, quality childcare options for workers. And it includes ensuring that we've got the social protection there that support that balance between family and working life, so that we can ensure that as we move forward into the future of work, out of the pandemic, we have got inclusive, equitable and resilient workforces. The solution to the world's problem really sits in effective social dialogue. Australia is noted as having one of the most robust, one of the most successful industrial relations systems in the world. That's not to say that over the last, 120 years that it's been in existence, there haven't been challenges to it and that there haven't been problems to it. But I do think that one thing we can see with the Australian system is where we've had effective social dialogue between our 3 constituent groups, between governments, between workers and between employers, it has worked effectively well. We've seen that it's fallen down when only one or two of those parties decide to go off in a different direction. Where we can maintain that cooperation, that collaboration, that common purpose, that's when Australia's industrial relations system is at its strongest. I think everyone is predicting this is not the last of the pandemics or the last of global crises that we will see. We need to ensure that we learn lessons from the last 2 years and build those into government policy, into social partner policy, and use those lessons as a way of moving forward collectively to what we hope will be a much, much better world.